Hi guys! In the last lesson, we learned how to create isometric drawings. The first thing we did was a cube using an isometric grid. This time, I am going to explain you another method. This method is called the SSR method, and it stands for scale, shear, and rotate. If we understand the 3 steps of this method, we will be able to create curvy, complex objects and pretty much anything we want into an isometric drawing. We need to remember that in an isometric drawing, there are 3 faces that are always shown. Those are the left, the top, and the right faces. For example, in a simple cube, all the 3 faces are simple and perfect squares. That means that it doesn't matter where we look at our cube, all the faces will be exactly the same. So I'm going to start by duplicating my cube so that you understand all these steps for creating an isometric shape using the SSR method. You need to identify how does your object look from these 3 faces and create those shapes. I started here with my cube. Now I'm going to explain you how the process works. Since all the faces are the same, I am going to start first by duplicating my shape again, and I will be creating the left side. Now this method says that we need to scale it first. If we remember, in an isometric drawing, the horizontal lines remain exactly the same. What we need to change are the vertical lines. So we need to smash it a little bit, okay, or crush it a little bit. Now, the options, these 3 transforming options are found in the object menu. So I'm going to select my square, go to Object, Transform, and I will find these options here. So the first step is the scaling process. Now, I don't want to edit this uniformly. That means that if I put here, for example, 100%, then, or 300%, then my object will be scaled evenly. Both orientations, like horizontally and vertically, and I don't want that. What I want to do is to click in the non-uniform scaling, and I'm going to leave the horizontal as it is. Well, it was 100%, sorry, 100%. And the one that I'm going to change is the vertical scaling. Now, this scaling is 86.062. That's the exact percentage of scaling for creating isometric drawings. I'm going to remove here this option, the scale, stroke, and effects, just the scale corners. I'll click in preview and then click in OK. And as you can see, my horizontal lines didn't change, only my verticals. Now, the step here is my 3 faces have to be scaled the same or equally. So I'm going to duplicate this one more time so we can see the transforming evolution of my shapes, okay? Now, my cube, left, top, right, I started with a perfect square, then I scaled them, the 3, okay? Now the shear part, I am going to duplicate this shape one more time so that we can see the process. Now, if you remember, in an isometric drawing, the angle for shearing the sides of my object are 30 degrees. So I'm going to continue by doing that. I'm going to click in my scale square. I'm going to go to Object, Transform, and then click where it says Shear. I'll have my preview box active, and the shear angle is 30 degrees. So I will put here 30, and as you can see, I have it in there. But I want this to be facing left, not right, because this is my left face. So I have to put here minus 30 degrees, and it will be facing to the left. And then I'll click OK. Now, the second and the third shape, the top and the right, will also be sheared at 30%. The top part will change once I rotate this, okay? So I'm going to select the first one, going to Object, Transform, Shear, and since I want to go this to the right, I'm just going to delete the minus sign and click OK. And I will do the same with my third shape, 30 degrees, and click OK. Now this is how my shapes have evolved, okay? And the last part is the rotation part. So I'm going to duplicate the left face. I'll go to Object, Transform, and this time I will choose the Rotate option. Now the rotation is the same, 30 degrees. But if I want this to face the left, remember we need to put minus 30 degrees and then click OK. And now it's rotated. I will duplicate the top part, go to Object, Transform, and Rotate. And this time I will put it at minus 30 degrees again, okay? But as you can see, my top part changed, and then I'll click OK. And finally, I will duplicate this right part or this right face, go to Object, Transform, Rotate, but since this is not the top face but the right, then I'm just going to remove the minus sign and click OK. And as easy as that, I have the three faces of my cube. Now, I'm going to duplicate this, press Shift and Alt to scale them evenly so that you can see how my cube will be formed, okay? I have here all the three faces of my cube, and if we join them together, I'm going to zoom in. If we join them together, and if we change its colors, we will have an isometric cube using the SSR method. If we understand this, we will be able to create anything into an isometric drawing. I hope you understood this, and thank you.